That's the kind of thing that would be a good step up for you. It's actually a great place to cross. It's very stable. They've had good leadership there for a long time. They don't have many openings. Okay, all right, I'm gonna send you an email. Send me your resume tonight. I'll look into a couple other things for you. I'm glad we connected. I'm actually gonna be traveling tomorrow, so I'll be available after the morning. I'll be back on Tuesday. So in the meantime, I will go on to the set days. I'm going to I'm looking at the possibility and also going to see what's going on there. I want you to keep your eyes open. Don't apply to something you see. Just send me a text. Okay, see you. Great speaking to you.
The things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light, yeah. I am light, I am light. I am not the color of my eyes, I am not the skin on the outside, I am not my age, I am not my race, my soul inside is all light, all light, all light, yeah, all light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light, yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. I am light, 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 I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light, yeah. I am light, I am not the color of my eyes, I am not the skin on the outside, I am not my age, I am not my race, my soul inside is all light, all light, all light, yeah. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am with God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Okay, hi everyone. One moment. Okay, today we're going to try both on Zoom and broadcasting live via our Facebook group. So give me a second to coordinate here. And we'll start in just 2 minutes. If everyone can hear me, okay, I see Shira's on Facebook Live. Rachel, you're live. Awesome. Okay, if everyone can hear me on both platforms, please let me know that you can hear me. Write in the chat room that you can hear me. Terry can hear me. Hi, Terry. Oh, Elisa, yay, you made it. You had Wi-Fi. Rebecca can hear me. Okay, awesome. Hi, Hila. Shalom. Okay, Shira on Facebook Live can hear me. Wow, it's amazing what these devices can do. I'm like seeing double of me. It's a little overwhelming. Okay. How many of you had a chance to listen to the song that I just played? Loved it. Yeah. I'm like listening to that song on repeat and it's just putting me into this space. So get ready. Today I'm hoping is going to be intense in a good way, like beautifully intense. And we'll just give another minute or so for everyone else who wants to join us. Okay. I see Donna just came on. Hi, Donna. Okay. So, while we wait another minute for everyone else to join in, let me just play that song one more time. And I invite everyone to just close your eyes and just let the words of the song reverberate throughout your body. It'll be a great transition into today's subject.
I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 Hey, yeah. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. Oh, light. Yeah. All light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am with God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. All right. We got a good group today, and we have a couple people also on Facebook Live, so we're on 2 platforms. Let's all just take a collective deep breath. Inhale. And deep exhalation, full body exhale. And give yourself a moment to just become grounded. Okay, hold on. A lot of technical things coming in. Okay, allow yourself to be grounded and present, and give yourself permission for today's session to really not let yourself be distracted. We have a lot to discuss, and it's our final session. And wow, I just want to start by saying that I am absolutely mind blown and heart blown by all of the last month that we've spent together, and it's going to continue. We're not done. There's an alumni group, but just all of the interaction and the receptivity that you all have, and just to see how many of you join every single week after week. None of you have given up. You're all so determined. You're all so present with the system, with the course, with what we're doing. So really, really, really thank you. Okay, so let us jump in to today's course. Okay, so session number 4. Today, we're going to talk about the power of visualization. Today's theme is called, "If you can see it, you can achieve it." What does that mean? If you can see it, you can achieve it. We'll talk about it in a minute, but let's just take a moment to recap, right? Like I really want all of the ideas that we've learned over the last few weeks together to sink in. So it might seem like I'm like drilling it inside of you, but that's my intention. I really want you guys to get this stuff. It's so important. So let's start from the beginning. Week 1, we started by discussing a subject, a topic, an idea called the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves become our reality, right? And we continued by saying that the answer to seeing miracles in our life is belief, right? Whatever we believe about ourselves, whether we believe we can or whether we believe we can't, we're right. Whether I believe I can or whether I believe I can't, I'm right. And the result is in correspondence with whatever I believe about me, whatever I believe about others, whatever I believe about the world at large, right? And we also quoted the Baal Shem Tov, who states that if a person immediately with the words emerging from his or her mouth has faith, has belief that their prayer is being heard, then such a prayer is answered immediately, right? We also spoke about the pie chart, right? We said there's a sliver of the pie chart called I know what I know, right? I know that I know how to speak English, right? Then there's a sliver of the pie chart, I know what I don't know, right? I know that I don't know how to speak Chinese. Then there's this really sneaky, sabotaging sliver of the pie called I don't know what I don't know, right? And that's our blind spot. Like when you're in a car and you're looking in your side rear view mirror and you don't see the car in your blind spot, how can you know what to work on in yourself if you don't even know it's there to begin with? And that was what this course was designed to do, was to bring to the surface the I don't know what I don't know so that it comes to the realm of knowing, so that we can start with awareness. Awareness is fundamental, right? Then I shared with you my coffee story. And I explained the importance of setting a clear intention and then being playful, not attached, right? The importance of clear intention and then surrendering, letting go of the results. We spoke about how the why and the what is up to us to determine with a lot of clarity, but the how is not up to us, right? That's God's territory. That's not for us to determine. You know, and we also discussed the importance of understanding the fundamental principle that God, creator, universe, cosmos, is the ultimate manifester, is the one creating the miracles. Our job is to co-create. And how do we co-create? We co-create by removing the blockages that are getting in the way of the creator showering us with abundance, right? So we spoke about babies being a blank slate. They come into this world, they're a blank canvas. They have no ideas, no beliefs, right? No cognitions formed yet, really. And then I explained to you or shared with you my vulnerable Tommy story and how my first 8-year-old heartbreak ever planted ideas and beliefs about myself in my heart, in my mind, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not worthy of being loved, that I'm not lovable, that no boy will ever love me, right? And that those stories that I told myself about myself sabotaged many of my relationships, in the future, until I became aware and they were no longer my blind spots and I was able to evolve and transcend from those limiting beliefs, right? We also shared a little Torah that goes, Sof ma'aseh machshavat tchila, which means that the end result exists in the initial thought, right? So every manifestation that happens in our life existed at a certain point of time, whether we're aware of it or not, in an initial thought, right? I shared with you last week the story of the guy who his wife told him when he woke up in the morning, you don't look good. You shouldn't go to work, right? Remember that story? And how even though he was feeling fine, by the end of the day, because enough people told him he didn't look good, he came up with a cold, right? So we can actually manifest physical illness in the body as a result of initial thinking, right? And then the Baal Shem Tov also says that where your thoughts are, that's where you are. And Rabbi Nachman, another Jewish sage, says that if you focus on something with all of your intention, it can actually become your reality. Yeah, and then we learned a powerful technique called tapping, EFT, to relieve and release stress from the body in order to be able to manifest. Because we said, in order to manifest, we have to be joyful and playful. And then let's fast forward to session 2, a little overview we're going through. So in session 2, we spoke about the push pattern. And it's when we push and we push and we push for something to happen, and we almost become obsessed with the end result, that we literally prevent that thing from happening because we become obsessed with the end result, right? And which transitioned into this topic of resistance. And we spoke how resistance is a vibrational frequency. It's an energy of obsession, of anxiety, and the importance of accessing that place of psychological flow. We spoke about going downstream instead of resisting the upstream, and how when we go with the flow, we end up at our destination not only more quickly, but we didn't have to even work as hard to get there. Psychological flow, right? And we spoke about the 4 identities, the 4 images: inner image, what I think about me; outer image, what I want others to think about me; others image, what other people actually think about me; and then life, world image, my cognitions, my beliefs about the world, like money doesn't grow on trees, we said, right? Are some of our world images that need to be really understood and broken down so that we can determine from a place of power for ourselves whether we want to hold on to those beliefs or whether we want to give them back for where they came from. Yeah, and then we touched a little bit on neuroplasticity. And we spoke about how the brain is more like Play-Doh than it is like a rock. And that the circuits, the rewiring can happen. The neural pathways of beliefs, of cognitions, can literally be shrunken down to nothing and turned into something new, into a new belief. Yeah, and we touched a little bit on what the Zohar says, that if you want to create a reality for yourself, you have to say what it is you want. And we said that abracadabra translates, it's ancient Aramaic, Old Hebrew, into "it shall be created in my speech." So it's important to know what you want and to say and know why you want it so badly, and then declare why you want it out loud. Yeah, we spoke a little bit about limiting beliefs holding us back. We spoke about putting the bag of bricks down, right? That becoming a mantra. That bag of bricks that we're holding on from the past, put the bag of bricks down. Be free, release, no resistance. Yeah, we spoke about painful emotions, our inner exiles, right? Because every time we shame an emotion, all we're doing is putting a very real part of us into exile, when all that part really wants is just connection, right? And I called those parts of me my class clowns, because they just want attention. And the moment we give them that attention, they sit in their seat, they're quiet. Yeah. So on the topic of shame, we had a little rendezvous with our inner child, and we went into the basement, we went into the exile, and we rekindled that relationship. Yeah, which then took us into session 3, where we spoke a little bit about the difference between fact versus story. Yeah, and the importance of needing to differentiate between what are the facts and what is the story that I'm attaching to this specific situation, right? And how when we change the story, change the cognition, we become liberated, we become free. Yeah, we spoke about having the ability to heal our body and physical pain with our minds, the importance of removing the word impossible from our vocabulary completely. And if we actually broke up the word impossible, we actually see I'm possible, I am possible, I am pure possibility, I am not a finished product, I am not an end result, ever. I'm constantly growing, I am constantly peeling layers and layers and layers of the onion. Yeah. Then we touched a little bit upon how the mind works, what's going on in our subconscious, how the average human being thinks between 50,000 and 70,000 thoughts per day. Yeah, and that if we break that down, that breaks down to 48 thoughts per minute. And we spoke about how there's so much inner chatter going on in our head at every given moment that when we're not aware of what we're thinking, it's just a bunch of random disconnected thoughts. It's mind clutter and it's taking up space. Yeah, so then we learned how to unclutch through a meditation of inhaling let and exhaling go. So I think I got it all. I think I covered the last 3 weeks in a nutshell. And I know that it's been a lot to take in. That's why I wanted to give an overview without you needing to go through all the videos one by one, just so you can remember, recall, download, ingest, digest. Yeah, it's a lot to take in a short period of time, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't leave out anything important. So thank you so much for your patience over the last few weeks and for coming along on this ride with me. All right, now let's shift. Let's jump in and talk about miracles. Yeah? We spent the last few weeks clearing the clutter, clearing the past, clearing our beliefs, rewiring our beliefs, understanding what the stories are that we're telling ourselves. So now that we've erased the chalkboard, which was really necessary to do, because if the chalkboard is full of negative limiting beliefs, we can't add to that chalkboard more chalk. We need to first erase the past in order to rewrite our future. And it's not really erasing the past, it's just changing the story that we've attached to the circumstances. That's freedom. Now we can move forward and now we can have some fun. As though it hasn't been fun already, now we can have some fun. Okay, so before we begin, who's ready to have some fun? I just want to see how everyone's doing. Can just check in with me. Who is ready to have some fun? Who's ready to talk about miracles? Malka just raised her hand. Woohoo! Hell yes. Ready, awesome. Awesome, everyone's raising their hands. Whoa, okay. Big time, okay, good. All right, cool. I love seeing that everyone's pumped, and even though I can't see your faces or hear your voices, it's like I feel you through the screen. So you're giving me energy. Thank you. Amazing. And everyone on the Facebook chat also pumped. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, so miracles, manifesting. That's what we're here to do. We're here to manifest. We're here to co-create. We're here to see our lives turn into what we want them to look like, turn into what we want them to be. So we're gonna just lay the foundation of manifestation, okay? So there are a few rules when it comes to manifestation. So before we go through a really powerful process at the end of today's session, I just wanna lay the ground rules. So manifestation rule number 1, I hope you have your notebooks, take some notes, we're gonna dive right in. The first thing that we need to understand is that miracles occur naturally. And when they're not occurring, something has gone wrong. I'll say that again. Miracles occur naturally, and when they're not occurring, something has gone wrong. Yeah? You know when that synchronicity happens to you. You know when you're in a state of flow, of effortless action. That state of being when you allow yourself to experience life without resistance, right? Those experiences when you're just thinking about someone and then they call you, or you haven't seen a friend in a while and they randomly pop into your head, and then a minute later you bump into them in the street. You know, or when you're engaged in a project, be it writing or public speaking or creating art or teaching a class, and you feel like you're channeling, as though this higher presence is just creating through you, right? All of those experiences that I just mentioned, that's how life is supposed to be, right? Last week, we named the experience as psychological flow. But drop the name for a second. That being of going downstream, that experience of going downstream and not experiencing resistance and just being able to experience the landscape along the way. The flowers, the animals, the trees, the birds, the sky, the sun, the wind, right? Just experience life and all of its miracles. That flow is how everything is supposed to be in life. The problem is we get in our own way, right? Our negative belief systems, our fears, our anxieties, our anger towards our past, our future tripping and projecting, right? All of that energy gets in the way of allowing the miracles to occur naturally. So now that we've spent a few sessions working on clearing the past and getting our thoughts to go to the right place, we can start focusing on the future, on visualizing and creating the life that we want for ourselves. So, like I said, there are a number of steps to simply keep in mind when it comes to the actual spiritual science of manifestation. I'm going to try my best to talk less so that we can process more at the end. So I'm just going to kind of like give it to you straight, and then we can be in the experience together. So step one, first we spoke about a rule. Now we're talking about step one. Step one is to get very, very clear. What do I want to see happen in my life? If we're not clear or we're confused about what we want, we can actually manifest more confusion. Yeah, we can seriously manifest some funky stuff if we don't put horse blinders on and stay super focused on the goal with immense clarity. Yeah, I'll give you an example. My husband and I recently moved into a new home, and the apartment hunt phase, like during the apartment hunt phase, I knew that I wasn't super clear about what I wanted, right? We also started looking really early on. We had plenty of time, so we weren't antsy to settle on a place. And, you know, we kind of decided to make the apartment hunt, or the hunt for our home, a little bit adventurous. You know, because we weren't in any rush, I decided to be flexible with my intention and to keep my options totally open to see what the universe, what God, what the cosmos would send us. And let me tell you, it's a good thing that we were just having fun at the beginning and that we had this time to just explore, because the universe did send us some pretty funky stuff, some pretty funky options. Anyways, long story short, when the time came to finally need to decide, and we were 1 month away from needing to move out of our old home, that's when I got really serious about my manifestation. I was like, all right, like we've got to get very clear. So because I knew that we were running out of time, that's also an illusion. But because I knew that we were a month away from moving, I had to get super clear about what I wanted and why I wanted it, right? And at first, even when I was a month away, I didn't exactly know what I wanted. All right, so what did I do? It was Friday night, and I was lighting my Shabbos candles, which is a super holy Jewish ritual, epic ritual that's reserved for women, so I absolutely love it. And it also happens to be that as you're lighting Shabbos candles, it's an auspicious time to ask God for clarity, to ask God for what it is you want. So as I'm lighting my Friday night candles by my window, I asked God to show me what it is that I want. I simply said, God, please guide me towards clarity so that I can know what I want, right? That's an intention. That's a really important mantra. God, please guide me towards clarity so that I can know what I want. And it just so happened that that night and the following day, after lighting my Shabbat candles, we were invited out to 2 different friends of ours, both with exactly the types of home that I realized when I walked in, this is what I wanted to create, right? Like I asked and God showed up immediately. And this has happened so many times in my life. Whenever I ask, he shows up. You just have to ask, especially if you don't have clarity on what it is you want, which so many people don't have, right? So both the homes I went into, both had beautiful outdoor spaces, lots of indoor space, lots of light, big dining room table to host guests, right? So the moment we walked into our friend's place, I said to myself, thank you, God, you got my back, right? And the manifestation work began. So 2 weeks later, long story short, we walked into the home that we live in now. And not only is there the outdoor space that I wanted, but the balcony looks over a quiet park. So that's more outdoor space, right? We have, thank God, all the light we could ask for, plenty of room to host guests. Yeah. So the moment I got super clear about what it is I wanted, and I put those manifestation horse blinders on, God showed up. That's how it works, right? So step one, we said, is to get super duper clear. Okay. Step two, understand everything that's preventing what you want from coming to you. So get clear of everything that's preventing what you want from coming to you, AKA your limiting beliefs, right? Your limiting beliefs are what is preventing you from getting what it is you want. They are our blockages, right? So we need to recognize, Rachel says, having the ability to notice the realization of your manifestations is so important. Spot on. Exactly. So important, right? So we need to recognize where we need to heal and what's in that bag of bricks from our past that we need to put down. So awareness is your key to freedom. Knowing your blockages, knowing what's holding you back, and clearing the clutter so that it's like unclogging, like blocked intestines or blocked pipes. Maybe intestines wasn't like the prettiest visual, but like blocked pipes. If a pipe is blocked, nothing can get through. It's a closed channel. We need to open the channel. This is a spiritual science. This is not just, woo-woo spiritual mumbo jumbo. This stuff actually works, right? So during our apartment hunt, I was clear that I needed to catch the thought bubbles of doubt, right? Like I had my own thought bubbles of doubt come up. For example, I recognized a limiting belief, a story that said, Ayala, you can't have it all. Who are you kidding? The indoor space and the outdoor space, the loads of light, the neighborhood you want to be in, and all within a budget that you set for yourself, right? So even though that thought lasted for a short while, I didn't let it linger too long because I didn't want to become like a permanent stain, right? So even though it lasted a short while before I caught it, I made sure to become aware of it because I didn't want that thought to sabotage my success. So step two, simply put, releasing the doubt to unblock the pipes. Which now leads us to step three. And step three is knowing that the creators seriously got your back and is waiting to answer your prayers. God is seriously waiting to answer your prayers. He wants to answer your prayers, but you have to first prepare the vessel so that he can give, right? We spoke about this in one of our sessions. When a child is demanding and feeling, what's the word I'm looking for? Feeling entitled. And they're whining and moaning and screaming, right? A parent is not going to give to that child in that moment. But does that mean that the parent doesn't want to give? No, the parent always wants to give. The parent has so much. The parent doesn't say, you know what, the love I have for you is reached its capacity. I've run out of love. No, there's an infinite amount of love a parent has to a child. And there's an infinite amount of love that God has for us. And an infinite amount that God wants to give us. We just have to get out of our own way. So the more we let go of disbelief, the more we begin to live in the experience of what it feels like to live in manifestation. So you have to feel what it is you want before you even have it. Yeah, and know that you're worthy of having it. If there's a voice in your head that says, I'm not worthy of being healed, I'm not worthy of finding my life partner, I'm not worthy of having, wealth or abundance or a certain type of connection with my partner or with God, right? Then the blockage is I'm not worthy. Yeah, so you have to be able to feel what it is you want before you're even in that reality. Right? Oprah Winfrey says, fake it till you make it. You want to be like Oprah, dress like Oprah. Why? I don't know why she came to mind, but walk like Oprah, talk like Oprah. And then when you can embody it and feel it viscerally, then you're drawing that thing closer to you. Right? But, you know, for example, before I got married, I knew my husband was around the corner. I just knew it. Right? So I said, by the end of May, I'm going to be married. And then my wedding day was May 29th. Right? I shared that story with you. I knew he was around the corner. I felt him in my life, even though I hadn't met him yet. Right? I would wake up in the morning before I met him, and I would say to the universe, I would literally say this out loud. I'd say, I hope my husband is having a great day today. And this is before I ever met him. And then I'd also say, and I hope he's really cute, because why not? Manifestation is limitless. Yeah. Also, like, before I became a public speaker, I felt like a public speaker. I embodied what it meant to be a public speaker. I saw myself public speaking. I saw myself in that role. I saw myself changing lives and inspiring people and living this life of being some sort of a mentor figure. And I made that my reality years ago, before I even stepped foot on my first stage. Right? So these 3 steps I'm going to sum up at the very end before we go into the technique itself. But I want to say a couple more things before we get there. We need to really understand the importance of not letting the outside world dictate our internal condition. Right? I'll say that again. We cannot let the outside world dictate our internal condition. When we say something to ourselves like, this person made me feel like crap, or the world is treating me poorly, or things always work out bad for me, or this group of people makes me miserable, or this organization is against me, or they're all turning against me. We are literally, by saying these things to ourselves, by believing these things, we are giving our power to that person. And we are saying, hey, you who made me miserable, you get to control how I feel today. Right? That is the epitome of what's called living with victim mentality. When we blame others for our circumstances. Right? And victim mentality is a massive block that prevents manifestation from occurring. How can we manifest and be in a space or be in an energy of playfulness and joy when we're feeling like everything and everyone is against us? No, then we're constricted. We feel shrunk. We feel tiny. Yeah? And this is the complete opposite of victim mentality is the complete opposite of taking responsibility for circumstances. And taking responsibility is one of the key ingredients to seeing miracles become our norm. Yeah, so the outside world will often reflect your internal condition. So if you are letting outside stuff tell you, I'm not good enough, then you are blocking manifestation and not allowing yourself to co-create. And one more really important point. I think this is the last point, unless something else comes to me. But one more really important point in the manifestation process, and maybe the most important point, is patience. Let's put it this way. Those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait, and they can wait without anxiety. I'll say that again, because that's an important point. Those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait, and they can do so without anxiety. Yeah, so when we have that certainty that what I'm calling is on its way to me, then we can wait without impatience, because we know it's around the corner. We know that we're worthy. We know that God wants to give to us. So the impatience, there's no room for it. But when you're not being patient, you're in resistance, opposite of psychological flow. You're being controlling, and you're grasping, and you're manipulating. And therefore, as a result, you're blocking the natural order of things. right? So don't resist. Don't be obsessed with the outcome. Let it come to you, right? What we resist persists. The more we resist something, the more we like struggle to make something happen and we fight to make something happen. It just keeps showing up in our life because it means that we simply haven't learned the lesson that we're meant to learn in that situation. If something keeps coming up over and over and over again, your inner world is a direct reflection of your outer world. It means that you have not done the necessary work to clear that blockage. So it's going to come in so many different ways to teach you the same lesson, right? Okay. So that being said, I told you guys at the beginning that I didn't want to spend the whole time talking and I wanted more time processing. So let's just transition in unless we have any, I don't want to take up too much time with questions, but let me see if you guys have like something specific or pressing that you want to share or ask, then do so now. Otherwise, we'll jump right in. Is this, and if this is making sense so far, please let me know it's making sense. Just say yes, it's making sense in the chat. Making lots of sense. Yes, making sense. Yes. Okay, great. And make sure, let's see, on Facebook chat, making sense. Yes, making sense, Shira. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Making sense, Rachel. Great. Okay. All right, so let's go into the process itself, right? I asked everyone to bring pen and paper because the first step is a short writing exercise. So we started by saying that visualization means if you can see it, you can achieve it. What do I mean if you can see it? You know, like I don't mean I can see this pillow, so it must exist. What I mean is if you can visualize it, it can be created, right? So we said step one is about clearing the clutter, getting super clear. If you're not super clear, you can attract some funky stuff. So I want everyone to take 2 minutes now and choose one thing. Now, I know we all have like a huge Hanukkah list of like what it is we want in our lives. But for the sake of this exercise, you can add more to this list at another time. But for today, let's just choose one thing and be specific. One thing that you want to see manifest in your life. And when you write it down, it's important to write it as though it's already happening in the present moment, right? So I am totally and completely healthy, right? And write in as much detail as possible, right? If your thing is maybe back pain, let's say. So like, I am totally, completely healthy. I experience no back pain. I can move freely and effortlessly. I feel complete, right? So whatever that thing is for you, it can be something physical. It could be losing weight. It could be gaining weight. It could be to resolve a conflict in your life between you and somebody else or a group of people or an internal conflict. It could be something you want to attract in your life, like a job, a partner, a home, right? So take 2 minutes to write down with clarity what it is you want, but write it as though you already have it. So Gila is asking one thing or more than one. So for now, we're just going to focus clearly on one thing. And once you're done writing it down, just let me know in the chat room, just write done. And if you want to be courageous and share what your manifestation is, like I said, well, the moment we verbalize it and write it down, it becomes more tangible. So feel free to share your desire in the group chat as well. Yes, to answer Hannah's question, should we share it as if we have already attracted, as though we already manifested it? Yes. So like how Rena just wrote, I am married and my husband is loving, attractive, and growing, right? So in the present moment. Perfect. And let's give it about another minute. We have Donna. I'm an amazing business partner in my new role. Amazing. And if you can, get specific. What does amazing mean, right? Yeah, Elle, my manifestation is a paragraph. Good. It should be a paragraph. Okay, you did get into detail about amazing. Okay, good. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so 30 more seconds and then we'll move on. Okay, and when it comes to manifesting, also understand that it's okay to start small in order to build a strong foundation of belief if you have to, right? Like we don't have to, you know, say I want to manifest $20 million by next month. It can be something, it can be like a baby step. That way it's like you choose something that's tangible, something that, it doesn't mean thinking small, choose something that's a little bit like, whoa, you know, it's bigger than what you think is possible perhaps, so that you stretch yourself a little bit, but something that's also realistic and something that can happen sooner than later, if this speaks to you, so that you can start to see how this stuff really works. Okay, great. So step 2, let's move on. Step 2 is like the song at the beginning of today's webinar stated, titled, I am not the voices in my head, right? I am not my self-doubt. I am not the things my family told me I couldn't do. I am not my limiting beliefs. I am not my eye color or my skin color. I am so much more than that. So step 2, when I say I am not the voices in my head, it means to notice if there's anything that's holding you back, if there's a limiting belief, right? So when you look at that manifestation that you wrote down in step 1, that desire that you have, be really honest with yourself in step 2. Write down any thought bubble that might come up that's telling you it's not a possibility, right? Like I told you, when we were trying to manifest the perfect apartment, there was a voice in my head that said, really, Ayala, you want all that and like within a certain budget, right? And so I had to pop that thought bubble. So simply just jot down any limiting beliefs that are attached to what you want becoming a reality. And we'll take 1 or 2 minutes to write this down. Continue to write down any and all the limiting beliefs, the doubts. It hasn't happened before. Why should it happen now? It's already taken this long. You know, God doesn't want to give me everything I want. I'm not worthy. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. Write them all down. And take about another 30 seconds. Okay, you can put your pens down wherever you are. And now we're going to just transition into the actual meditation process, the visualization process. So let's all put away our pen and papers. Let's come to close our eyes and just allow my voice to guide you through this really powerful and deep visualization. Everyone, eyes closed. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. And inhale, deep breath, full body inhale, sitting up tall. Imagine, envision an invisible string attached to the crown of your head all the way up to the sky, pulling your spine long, head tall, shoulders relaxed, hands comfortably placed on your lap, on your knees. Deep exhalation, continue deep breaths in and deep breaths out, full body breaths. And let's go ahead and take a moment to bring to your mind that desire that you wrote down in step 1. What is it that you desire? And visualize your life right now. Use your imagination, bring it into your mind as though you're watching a movie with surround sound. Yeah, visualize your life right now as though you have already manifested that thing that you want in your life. Really bring the visual into your body, into your mind. And focus on the emotion. Notice how you feel, as though your manifestation is in existence right now. You already have it. It's yours. Feel it viscerally in your body in order to shift your frequency. Feel it in your bones. Feel it in your muscles. Feel it in your heart. And see it in as much detail as possible. Notice what you look like. Notice your posture. And if any doubts or disbelief wants to come into your visualization, simply unclutch, inhale the word let, exhale the word go. And bring yourself back to the visualization with as much intensity as you can. Notice what your body is capable of doing with your manifestation in creation. Notice your energy shift. And now, wherever you are in your visualization, I want you to bring yourself to a mirror in your mind, in your imagination, eyes closed. Bring yourself to a mirror. It could be your bedroom mirror, your bathroom mirror. Visualize the mirror that's in your home and bring yourself to that mirror and gaze into the pupils of your eyes. In your imagination, you're gazing into the pupils of your eyes. And while you're seeing yourself gazing into your eyes, you're noticing that your manifestation is in full throttle. It's in existence. It's already happening for you. It's already happened. It's your reality. And as you gaze into your eyes with this manifestation being your reality, notice your posture. Notice how you're standing taller. Notice your confidence, your self-esteem. Notice how the negativity that you used to feed yourself, tell yourself, the stories you used to tell yourself, they're not even in the circumference of your existence. They're so far behind you. You are an evolved, transformed human being. Notice what it feels like as you gaze into the pupil of your eyes. Notice the smile on your face. Notice how you've grown younger, that you actually look younger, more vibrant, more youthful. You're choosing life. What does it feel like in your body? Bring the sensation into your body as though you are living at your highest potential. And now visualize yourself walking out your front door. And as you walk out your front door, you're walking down the street, and your posture, you're standing tall, you're confident. Everybody who passes you, they notice that you're shining a bright light, that you are a bright light. And there's something magnetic about you that just turns heads, that people want to be near you. People want to come close to you. People want to be your friend. There's a high vibration coming off of your entire body. And people can't help but want some of what you are offering the world. So notice how you're spreading this light to the world as you're just walking down the street. Visualize it. Visualize yourself walking into a room surrounded by people that you love. And the moment you walk in, everybody acknowledges your presence. your presence alone is a huge light. What does it feel like? What does it feel like to live with that level of confidence? Feel it in your body. With that level of health, with that level of energy and vibrance. And just take a moment to bask in this feeling as though it's already yours. There are no more limiting beliefs, no more self-doubt, no more self-denial. You are just pure radiance, pure confidence. What does that reality feel like? And as you're in this state of meditation, enter into this flow and let go of any resistance. Let go of any distraction. If your mind is wandering, that's okay. Simply ask it to come back. And while you're in this place of visualizing your manifestation as though it's already yours, stay open. Stay open to what you want and potentially getting something more. And while you're here, while you're in this place of embodying, of viscerally in your body, feeling as though you are unlimited potential, unlimited possibility, stay here with your eyes closed and just listen to the words of this song. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out.
I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 Hey, yeah. I am light. I am light. am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. Yeah. All light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Everyone, take a deep breath in. And take a deep breath out. And gently, when you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open. And if you care to share just what you're feeling in one word or more than one word. What are you experiencing? What are you feeling right now? Just share in the group chat. Beautiful. So happy, smiling big. Yay, Terry. Peaceful, emotional. Okay, good. Then mission accomplished. Before we end, I just want to leave you with a thought. It is so important that we don't allow other people's voices to dictate who we think we need to be and who we think we should become. It's important to be conscious about the people you're surrounding yourself with, right? They say, and this has been researched, that we become like the 5 people that we surround ourselves with the most. And so you don't want anybody putting doubt into your mind. You don't want anyone telling you anything like something's not possible or you're not capable, right? You want to completely avoid negativity like the plague. And if it happens, because it will, right? Because that's just life. It'll happen and we'll be told things that we don't want to hear. Build up a strength to resist absorbing that information. Don't let it touch you, right? Don't let it affect you to the best of your ability. I thank you all so much for joining me on this month-long journey. I'm going to be sending out a guided visualization meditation specifically for manifesting. So I really suggest spending 21 days doing this meditation every single day for 21 days. And just watch how the miracles unfold. I bless you all to really, really live life wearing your manifestation glasses so that you can see the world through the eyes of possibility and pure potential, so that you can see that miracles are your birthright and that you're worthy of experiencing miracles and that you're worthy of feeling as though God wants to shower you with that abundance that you deserve, and that there's no part of you, because you are divine, that doesn't deserve it. You totally do. And one last reminder is, don't let anybody steal your power. You've worked way too hard for it. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I'll be available for you. Let me know your experience by sharing on the Facebook chat. And I'll stay on for another minute or so, or a couple minutes. If anybody has any last statements that they want to share in the group chat, last comments, then I'm happy to answer any last minute questions. But otherwise, you're free to go. Thank you so much. Thanks, Donna. This class has been amazing. Thank you, Lisa. Terry, thank you. Thanks, Rach. You're welcome. You're welcome, Malka.